Have you ever noticed how after leaving Christianity and fundamentalist religion, how the church teaches its members to live life looking forward to the next life while doing very little to fix this life? I'm not the only one who's noticed this. When you grow up in a fundamentalist Christian environment where their whole goal is the next life, it's very convenient that they almost rarely, especially in Baptist churches, fix the way the world works. Because if you're focused on the next one, this life really doesn't need to be fixed. Because your goals, your future is maybe a little bit impacted by here, but at the end of the day, all your joys, happinesses, and rewards aren't in this world at all. So they focus their attention, time, resources, and pursuit on every other, pursuit for the next life, but not for here. And I always wondered why that is. Why do groups that are considered Christian and religious, why don't they fix the world as it is now? Because when you're kingdom-minded, also known as waiting for your next life, you seldom change this life because this isn't all you think there is. So being an atheist, I realized that this is all that there is. And we need to protect Earth. We need to give the next 5 generations a better tomorrow. Or what is the point in living? What is the whole point if you can't do better the next time? We have more technology, more electronic advancements. Every generation, we can make life easier on minorities, women. But if you're not focused on this world being the best there is, and instead focused on the next world, your goals aren't going to be about helping raise poverty, how to get people jobs. You're going to teach people that they have to save themselves. And if the cards are all stacked against you, it doesn't matter how many breaks you get. You're never going to get out of poverty because there's really no incentive to get out of poverty. There's nothing good about this life. And I think it's so sad that people don't want to fix this life. Because if you can't make tomorrow a better day, what's the point in the next life? And you notice how the groups that really don't want people to get tax breaks, if everyone who needed a job got a job, pastors wouldn't have any material. They wouldn't be able to talk about homelessness and being jobless. Everybody would be forced to talk about something else. And they did a social experiment a few weeks ago about a mother, I think she was Caucasian, called around a bunch of churches to find out who and how they would help her feed her child. Well, the social experiment pretty much raised a question. If Muslim mosques and non-religious organizations are most likely to help and pursue a better tomorrow for everyone, member or not, why are we still at these churches? If a Muslim mosque is going to consistently, more likely, help women, single women, or impoverished women than Christian churches, why are we still going to these churches that won't help women? Why are we doing that? Because there's such a thing as Christian right. I don't believe in it, but some people do. It's the belief that if you believe in the right God, you're going to survive problem. It's very simple. If you don't want to make the world a better place and actually put actions where your mouth is, you don't really want to help. Because even people who have no money will find a way to help other people. Impoverished people find a way to create a food pantry out of their own house. And I read this in the newspaper recently. To get people food. Impoverished people giving food to impoverished people. What is stopping the people who make more than $70,000? I think it's pride, self-righteousness, believing that just because you have a good life, not everyone deserves one. I mean, it's so sad. It's very sad. And children are going to be the people that really do get hurt the most. If kids can't even expect, good things from Santa Claus, how in the world are they going to get anything good? Every kid deserves to have a full lunch, a good drink, and quality education. And we can't even provide that. I'm scared for the next generation. And it's a sign of the times. If churches can't or won't provide consistent help and outreach for just as many non-members as they do their members, I don't want anyone I trust going to that church. I'm not going to give my resources to churches that tell women whose children are starving, "Oh, I'm sorry, we can't help you." Yeah, I don't want anyone I trust, including my family, which don't really trust them. But in theory, I do not want to give my resources, my money, my time, my volunteer schedule to a group of people that won't help anyone unless they're giving money already. Like, that is pathetic. And it goes against everything the Bible teaches. And yeah, the Bible does teach some good things. I'm sure every book has at least one virtue in it. But at the end of the day, Christians from fundamentalist churches, they're not going to follow the New Testament. They're not going to follow the Old Testament. People really do want what we call Sharia law. But at the end of the day, if it's not the right kind of Sharia law, the white man's version, I mean, oh boy, it amazes me. If you're not the right kind of member, the right kind of person, and you're not giving money to the church already, they're not going to help you. And I find it ironic that these kind of groups are going to say that we're godly, that we care about people, and you really don't. You really don't. Because if you really, really cared, you would show consistent assistance. People would not have to be giving money to your church for you to help them. They just wouldn't. Like, they would say, what do you need, when do you need it, and where do you need it? And how much do you need it? Those are the kind of churches I would actually, defend. Hopefully. And if you can and refuse to make the world a better place, regardless of where you think you're going to end up when you die, I don't think you can call yourself a follower of Jesus, let alone a Christian. Because Jesus' followers actually did good. They actually cared about people. Now, did they always do good things? Of course not, because human beings don't always do good things. But Yeah, if you can't consistently meet the needs of the community, you should lose your tax exemption status, and you should be forbidden from using the word church, because you are an awful group. Even churches that are threatening bankruptcy will find a way to feed children and single mothers. They will find a way to do it. They're not going to say no. And that's why any church that does not help the poor, regardless of where this unfortunate person in need goes to church, they should not have tax exemption status. And the church should be shamed in publicly, privately, in every way. I mean, you failed the most common decency laws that aren't even religious. Do no harm. Always care for those in need. I don't even have to be religious to understand that if somebody's hungry and in need, if I can't help them, I find someone who can. That's just me. And anything less, you are tempting me to think you lack empathy and compassion.